So the first thing we have to do is make the label. Most of the labels 2x1s come with rounded corners, and we don't really want to have that there. So the first thing you do is line 1 is you just draw a line across the top to cut off the corners. It also gives you some space to draw some dots where your divisions have to go. The next line, line 3, I did have a line 2 but ended up not needing it, is a penciled line. Now it needs to be a penciled line because later you're going to erase that line, and this line just gives you a stopping point so that on every second vertical you don't go all the way up to the label, so that you can put numbers in there to help with the indexing. The bottom line for my dies is about 12 millimeters from the top line. That's about ½ an inch. I have dots so that I can just draw the lines. Again, I've got them outside of the area that I need so that it's kept neater. At the end of the day, you're going to have quite a few lines and some numbers and things, so it's points. So when you've finished the first part of the measurements, you end up with a label that looks like this. This is actually 2 labels. So if we get rid of the bottom label, that's the top label that it looks like. So you can see I've got numbers 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You can see here I forgot about my reference line and I actually drew the vertical all the way up. So the next thing is I've cut the label down to the size that will eventually be used, and then I need to apply it onto the knob. I've already got an index mark in here which is no longer required. This is part of a previous system I used, so you don't need to do that, but I'm just going to use that as my 0 point so that I don't get confused later on. And then you just wrap this around like this, and it should close up very closely. There you go. So the next thing we have to do is do our horizontal referencing marks, which is just drawing lines around the knob at the top of the die. So I've got this set to 0. Number 11 is my baseline. So with the red pen, I just copy around. Can you see that? Copy around like that. That gives me baseline 1. Then I go in 1 full turn back to 0. Oh, by the way, you will also have to just put a permanent reference mark on your die, just with a hacksaw blade. Then I use a different colour pen, and you'll see why once I finish this. It gets quite busy, so the different colours makes it worthwhile. So again, go around and then turn it down another turn, and then go back to the red pen. So at the end of the process, this is what you end up with, and you can see why I've used 2 different colour inks to do the horizontal lines. I've also gone and numbered every second line, and I've also wrapped 1 layer of sticky tape on top of the label. I'm actually going to take this this rubber ring off so that the cap is loose, and the reason why I do that is because I want to maintain consistency, and sometimes the bullets don't take a lot to seat them, and if the rubber ring is adding resistance, it may not push back on the cap consistently. The beauty of it is that once I've set up the depth for this, I just have to note what number the index is at. So at the moment this is on 2/8. Just write that down, and that's my baseline. I never have to go and load a dummy bullet again. If I want to experiment with the difference in bullet depth, I know that each one of these divisions is about 1/5 of an inch, or if I do half of one, it's about 2.5 of an inch. On an inexpensive die, I think that's pretty good. Yeah. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Let's seat the bullet to 2.7. Get an overall length. And the overall length, you can see that, is 3.002 inches. I will zero it. Now I'm moving this just one division. There you go. So that's 1/11 of a turn. Throw it in again. Let's see what we've got. Can you see that? Yep. Can you see that? 0.5.